the mud, came up, they ain't think that I could do it. Rise up, then I look back like, man, I knew it. Out the mud, was in the dirt, climbed up. Now I'm on top and it's stuck. Out the mud.
Welcome back to Out the Mud podcast. This is your girl, Coco.
Haliote. And today's guest is a perfect example of what happens when you bet on yourself with no safety net. He didn't come from tech, didn't have investors, didn't grow up around money, but he built a digital empire through grit, belief, and relentless self-mastery. From the south side of Chicago to becoming a respected tech founder of Maestro, an educator, his story proves you can rewrite your entire life if you're willing to face yourself and take the risk. Welcome to Out the Mud podcast, Justin Burns.
Thank you. Glad to be here. I was going to say, where's the confetti?
Right.
I thought I was coming into confetti and all of that.
But Justin, so first of all, thank you. Thank you for coming on. I know you had a very busy weekend, and we really, truly thank you for, coming on. Awesome. So what's one thing people would never guess about you just by looking at you?
That I'm an introvert. That I kind of like. If you catch me in the room, you may not even notice that I'm there. I mean, my energy is there, right? So some people say I have powerful energy, but you do. I might be quiet. I might be, because I'm taking everything in. So but then 5 seconds later, I'm on stage and I'm shutting the whole room. So most people don't know that about me.
What's your sign?
Scorpio.
Oh, I knew it.
Don't roll your eyes. I'm so tired of people rolling their eyes at me this week when I say I'm Scorpio.
I'm rolling it real hard.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. We've done nothing to anybody in the world.
Okay. Y'all right and everybody else is wrong.
Correct. Okay. That's the way the world should work. So.
Oh Lord, I don't agree at all. So if your friends had to describe you in 3 words, what would they say?
I mean, they tell me this all the time. I say real friends always tell you the real things, right? They would say I have a big heart. Okay. Definitely big hearted. Always care about people. Second would be caring and, intuitive. People say I'm very intuitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
I can see that because it's like you looking in my soul.
Sometimes people say that.
It's the eye color.
Yeah,
that's always like, especially when you learn, it's even more dangerous for an introvert to learn their power, because then they look in eyes. People don't like for their eyes to be looked in. It's like you staring in their soul. Yeah. So when you stare at somebody's eyes to connect with them, they be like, they be looking all off. And...
Nah, I ain't looking off. I'm just trying to see, are we gonna get married tomorrow? Wait, we was just talking about this too. I'm like, wait, I got my dress and everything.
You know.
Okay.
But I love it though. I love it.
So we got one more icebreaker, and this is off of I think I was listening to one of your audios where you said you had experiences with, what was it, ayahuasca?
Oh, y'all going deep today. Wow, I didn't know y'all was going deep today. Okay.
We try to get in your business.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to know, people say it's really life-changing, right? What was one of the biggest lessons that you learned from it?
So I've done ayahuasca 9 times. Okay. So I'm experienced with it. Okay. Well, first, let's kind of talk about what ayahuasca is.
No, I was going to say, what exactly is it?
Some people may not know what it is. So it's a plant, right? It's considered a psychedelic. So it's a vine. It's a vine that grows in Peru and other places. And the indigenous people used it as a way to connect right with source and God. Right? So that's what they believe. So it basically opens up the third eye. Opens up your third eye. It's definitely a scary thing, but what I would say is it will break down everything you ever thought about reality, and it will completely shift your paradigm. So that's the scary part, is everything you thought is out there is real. A lot of that is fake, and it's to stop you from being who you truly are. And so I would say plant medicine really had a change. Psychedelics had a change in me, and I feel like also it's proven to heal a lot of trauma. because a lot of people have so much childhood trauma.
Right.
You're dealing with your ancestral trauma.
Right.
You're dealing with, your parents' trauma. So people just got all type of trauma.
I definitely do.
And so, I could tell. So it's like, I could tell you trouble. So I got to make sure. That's why I'm glad she asked the ayahuasca, because I know who I'm bringing to the next, ceremony when I do it.
We all over the place. Like, Justin.
Yeah. I'm be like, I don't know her, y'all. Right. I don't know her. I'm just
embarrassing.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like people are burnt out, stressed out, overwhelmed because they don't know who they are.
I feel that.
And I feel like you have to go deep into who you are to discover who you are.
Oh, wow.
Especially melanated people, we don't really go do that work that's necessary, because we have really the most trauma. And so, because we've endured a lot over a span of really a lot of time.
Absolutely.
So what we have to do is do that work. And so plants help with that. And so, ayahuasca changed my life. I love it. I don't shy away from it. I used to be scared to tell people, because, people look at you, they be like, wait, you did what? You do drugs? And all the type of stuff. They just don't understand because they've never done it, and they've never experienced it. And it also, the ring I always wear, I love my rings, right? So one of the things I wear this is called the tree of life. Right. So it represents the vibrancy that life is this vibrant thing full of energy, and everything is connected to source. So, it was powerful. It changed my life a lot.
I love that. So you don't do it here?
You can. I've done it in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Really? What?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean, well, we can't go too deep, it ain't. I mean, you mainly do it out the country. You could do it it's available in a lot of places. Right. You just have to do it under the care of, I tell people, a shaman. Don't do it on your own. Please don't. Yeah. Never do it. Have somebody there with you. Got to have people who are. You have to pick the right people who spiritually can help you. Because everybody is not called to help you.
Right.
So everybody, you have to pick the right, we call them shamans. You have to pick the right people who can actually help cultivate your spirit and know how to deal with it.
So shamans is just like a midwife, sort of say, to make sure,
like a spiritual leader.
Sure like a shaman is there to step in between, you and, to help you spiritually, to help you deal with some of the things you need to heal.
Okay. Listen, I might be calling you.
I'm so scared to
put me on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how to pronounce it first.
So before we jump into it, Justin, for those who don't know you, who is Justin Burns and what do you do?
So I am from, I always say I'm from the South. I'm a boy from the South side of Chicago.
Chirac?
We don't call it Chirac, by
the way. Y'all don't.
It's the Instagram people call it Chirac. That's Instagram.
We don't call we can't stand that term.
But we can't disrespect.
Yeah, don't disrespect my city.
Yeah, I got you.
But Chicago made me who I am. And I grew up a part of my life in the suburbs. I grew up most of my life in a rough neighborhood. So I kind of got the best of both worlds, right? So my mama yanked me when I was growing up. I grew up in a rough neighborhood, but I wasn't the hood guy, I wasn't, but I was the guy who understood how the hood works.
Right. So he was like, I could jump in and
I could jump in and out.
I feel that.
And so, but a lot of the hood guys protected me.
I feel that.
And so they didn't want me to get into that lifestyle. They were like, you're real smart. We don't want you to be over here, but we gonna protect you from what's happening. Right. So I had a really, really, growing up, I was taught a lot. And then, fast forward, I was working, all these jobs I couldn't stand. I realized I was a horrible employee, absolutely terrible.
Calling off late.
Yeah, just didn't even make any sense, some of the stuff I used to do. And then, my homeboys would make fun of me. He's like, man, you're going to get fired from another job. And surely enough, I get fired. I'd be like, it was their fault. It wasn't my fault. Anyway, what happened?
Blame the job.
It was always like that. So, but about right before I finally found a job I was really good at. And I found that because I think a lot of people don't discover their purpose.
Right, that's true.
But we all have an epiphany moment when someone says you're good at this, but so many people have so many self-doubts about themselves.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not good at that, really?
Right.
So people used to tell me you had the gift of gab, but I didn't realize that I was really gifted at basically speaking.
Yeah.
And so this guy came in. And he was like, man, you would make a lot of money doing internet businesses. And this is back in 2009. So this was almost 17, so 18 years ago. Yeah. So I didn't know. And so I was like, what's the internet business?
Right.
And he was like, oh, you sell products online. I thought he was a drug dealer when he said that. I was like, he disguising this as a drug dealer.
Right.
But I was just, from that moment, I was curious. I was real curious. And so I started studying a little bit. I went home on the computer. We had AOL back in those days.
Yeah.
Y'all got, shout out to everybody watching. If you got, I tell people this all the time, right? Side note, you living in one of the greatest times in history.
Absolutely.
When I say that, I don't know if you ever heard me say it on a podcast. I always say that. Yeah. It's one of my favorite sayings because my grandma used to say it. And I didn't understand what she was saying, but she was like, she said one day, like, you guys have the internet.
Right.
And she didn't even know what she was saying, right? But she knew, but she didn't know. Because at that time, the internet wasn't even developed. Now you can go to a website in 5 seconds and be on there. But back in the day, moms had to have the CD. Y'all remember the CD? You had to pop in the CD. Listen. You only got like 30, 40 minutes. Mama used to kill you because those minutes was expensive. The dial said, you got mail. As soon as it logged in the AOL connection. Right. So I tell people, like,
I only heard that at my stepmom's house. My mom did not pay for none of that.
Yeah. It was a good time. And then he used to come into the store all the time. So fast forward.
Statistics show 80% of the people who watch our episodes are not yet subscribed. So if you guys are liking this episode so far, please do us a favor, grow with us, subscribe, like, and comment to see more episodes. This is Out the Mud Podcast. We look forward to growing with you guys, but the only way we can grow is that you subscribe to our channel. This is Coco.
It's Haliyate.
Let's get it. Let's get it. And we're dropping an episode every single Sunday. Every single Sunday. Let's go. Don't miss it. And also follow us on Instagram too. Yep. Out the Mud Podcast. Let's get it. Let's grow. Let's go.
I just one day was like, can you teach me what you're doing? Because we be like so prideful. We don't want people to teach us and help us. Mm-hmm. He was like, if you commit it, I'll show you. And so he invited me to this seminar and my mind was completely blown. They were talking about running internet businesses, selling digital products. And one thing that captured my mind was the guy was like, people in London and Spain and Germany and Africa be able to buy your product. And that's when the light bulb moment hit me. Right. You're like, because I was like, wait a minute. I've never been taught. This is interesting. Right. So I just went out there. Luckily, I got fired about 3 months later. So perfect transition. I knew I was going to get fired. I got fired. You knew I was going to get fired eventually. People just always love coming at me. I got this light that people just don't like sometimes. Like,
they want to dim it.
Go get him. They want to dim it. It's like, even when I'm like a good, like for real, sometimes I'll be like, I didn't even do anything for real. Like, I know, you know when you do something. This time I really didn't do nothing. So I realized that's just, I've always had like that target on my back. And so you got to be strong when you got that call.
You have that aura.
Yeah.
You have a really good aura about yourself.
Thank you.
And by that, you having a good aura. Some people who's not confident in themselves will be intimidated.
Right. Yeah.
That I get aura. That you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you walked in, and it's just automatic. Like, hey, I'm like, hey. Yeah. And some people don't like to see people really happy and just really intrigued with them. And you got that aura, so it's like. It's T.
Yeah. It's T to you. Most people don't find it because, like you said, they don't really have a lot of confidence in themselves. Right. When I got fired, I made a decision that I was going to be the first the first entrepreneur in my family.
Gotcha.
There was not one entrepreneur in my family. Right. Like, not one. There was like, people be like, oh, my mother was innovator. My mother was this. My family were all employees. They worked jobs. They did the traditional, retire in their house. But something didn't seem right about that vision. I was like, no. So one of the things I learned from this guy, because I tell people relationships are key. I'm still friends with him to this day.
I love that.
Right. So relationships are key. He taught me, he said, Justin, if you were to read a book every week, if you were to go all in on developing, your life would be completely different. So I had felt like a failure up until that point. Right. And something that he said, when he said it, I said, what if he said, let me just, I know you got a lot of doubt, right? But he said, just do this. Do it for 6 months and then you're not going to want to stop doing it.
Right.
I was like, okay, I was like, so if it's trash in 6 months of me reading books, growing, listening to podcasts, I can give it up is what you're saying. Right. He was like, yeah, okay. I said that. So I went all in. I was like, I don't have anything to lose. 6 months, I was a completely different person.
In 6 months?
In 6 months. I thought differently. Right. So I went all in. I started going to personal development conferences. I was at a conference every week. I was addicted.
I love that.
And after about a few years, I started to become more of who I am. And then fast forward to today, we got Maestro, a tech company. We got 10 employees. We have almost 30,000 customers over the span of the past 7-8 years. And all of them are all walks of life from all different countries. And we're doing pretty well.
I love that. So
amazing.
Basically what he was doing to you what he basically did was had you to really commit to something that you wasn't even aware where it was going to take you to.
Yeah.
And, and it was like basically he was really betting you on yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, do this for 6 months. Yeah. If you do it for 6 months and you don't like it, then go about your business. Yeah. But if you like it within the 6 months, look at you now. Yeah. So I love that. So that was that moment when you just was brutally honest with yourself. Yep. And you just said, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Because what I saw growing up, I realized that I had to become a different example. Right. And I felt something intuitively different. Right?
I feel that.
So I wanted to become a different man when I saw the men that were in my mother's life and my sister and the men that they were attracting. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to be, no dig at them, but I wanted to be a better man. Right. I also didn't, a lot of us, we don't really have visions for our life.
I feel that.
What does the next 5 years look like? Yeah. I already know what the next 5 years, I can tell you I'm going to be living. This is what I can tell you with precision. Right. I can tell you I'm going to be living in a 100, 200 acre compound. I'm going to be waking up with my beautiful wife and our kids. Okay. We're going to have this over here. We're going to be growing our own food.
I love that.
We're going to be having our own water.
I love
We're going to have our own control. We're going to have multiple businesses, spiritual businesses that help people grow and find out who they are. I know exactly with absolute precision. Most men and most people don't know what they want.
They don't.
And they can't think that far out. It's just, how can I make this amount? And that's why most people never take action past their goals. It's why they stay on jobs that they hate. Mm-hmm. No offense, we're going to get deep today because I want to free people. Yeah. It's why they stay in jobs that they hate.
I love that.
It's why they do things that they don't hate because they have so much, they're so fear driven, not realizing that the fear is the thing that you use to get you out of the situation.
Exactly. It's just like one of those things. It's like either you're going to do it or don't do it or talk about it. Yeah. You got doers and you got the ones that just talk, know, and you're absolutely right. Sometimes in life, people will have that. Well, actually, most of the time, people have those visions. Oh yeah, I want to do this. And I'm going to do this.
It's fear.
And then 2 months later, you ask them, so how's everything going? Oh no, I just got me a job. So it's like, Derek.
Ooh, that brings me into my next question for sure. Speaking of fear, you were at crossroads at one point where you had to choose between a 6-figure job.
Oh, you've been watching my podcast. You've been watching my story.
On you.
I see.
Yep. What internal fear did you have and what made you actually, step and take that leap?
Yeah. So I always tell people there's 2 reasons when I coach a lot of people and you've been in my program, right? So there's 2 reasons I tell people why they either procrastinate or they fear it, right? So there's 2. One is fear of failure.
Right.
So we often fear if I take this action and it don't work, I'll be a failure. I won't make the money. I'll risk my bank account, all these things.
Right.
Then you have the fear of success. Most people don't know you might even fear success.
Right.
Now, this is a hidden one because some people, we grew up demonizing billionaires and millionaires. We've demonized successful people. And so some of that is subconsciously locked into us.
That's true.
Here's another thing. Or we've taken an action, we've experienced some success, and then it failed for one reason. And you're like, I don't want to go back into that because that's like being burnt with hot water, right?
That's
it's like you put your hand under water and it burned you and you're like, I don't want to do that again.
I won't do that again.
That's what happens to us.
I love that.
To answer your question, I had to become comfortable, and I had to basically become comfortable with A, being uncomfortable with feelings, and then B, being uncomfortable with failing.
I love that.
And I had to change my relationship to failing.
Ooh.
Because people don't change their relationship to failing. They be like, don't get me wrong, I still had the same painful experience, but I take so much action. Like I was in Bali, right? The last 6 months. Whew. I'm sorry, I'm having a half flight. I need to go back to Bali. So I was in Bali for 6 months. Ready. I literally created so much because I fear not living up to my potential.
I love that.
And so I launched 2 courses. I launched 2 apps, 2 web apps. I launched an entire coaching program. I helped 3 clients make over 6 figures while I was there. One is close to 7 figures, just literally remotely. Wow. I did all of this while I was in Bali, and I was still traveling. Now, let me tell you, you want to know the thing that I saw, even it happens in the world. I'm not one of those, like, I'll stay in the house. Yeah. But when I travel, I like to network with people. People don't know, like, a lot of people don't know who I am, but then they start researching, like, oh, wait a second, it's Justin. Like, so chill. Yeah, so I'm like real chill. So we like chilling. And one of the things I noticed when I travel, this even happened traveling, I was sitting with a group of people recently, and one of the guys was like, yo, I'm kind of, his energy was down. I was like, what's going on, man? Yeah. He was like, I got to go back to my country, and I hate that. Oh, wow. And I was like, how long you been here? And he was like 4 months. What he didn't know is I had been in the networking events, and I rarely seen him working. I rarely see him putting time into his purpose. I'm not calling you out. I'm just being, if you're watching this, I'm not calling you out. Maybe I am. But because I'm very direct. Just a little bit. Let this video be a coaching to you.
We're just saying.
Let it help you. So, he didn't put in, every time I saw him, he was at all the party events. Every time I saw him, he never asked for help. I hosted 2 workshops to help people there. No cost. I charge a lot of money to coaching me, right? Right. So I was just doing it just to help people. Right. He didn't show up to either. And they posted it right in the group he was in. Oh wow! He never showed up to any of any of my sessions,
and just complaining.
So now, here's what I tell people: I could tell how much a person is making and the success they have by 2 main things: the action that they've taken in the last 6 months, and what they're living today.
I love that.
So if you are suffering, some of it is not your fault, but some of it are the decisions you made 6 months ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one, and then 2, how you run your calendar. I can look at your calendar and I can see you don't plan out your day. You don't focus on revenue generating activities. You doing all these free meetings. You meeting with a bunch of people. Cause I know a lot of people like that. Right. They'd be like, Justin, my business is suffering. And I'd be like, tell me what you did in the last 2 days. Just tell me. Let me know your habits. Tell me. Right. Oh, well, I was working on my ebook, and I'd be like, working on your ebook. When is it launching? Give me when is the launch date?
Okay, you talking to me?
Like, listen,
no, we got our calendar.
I'm talking to you too. Right?
You talking to me?
When is the launch? When are you launching? I don't want to hear about what you're working on. We all are working. Give me the launch date. What are the action steps when you get to that date? Yeah, that you're gonna launch. So I feel like, people fear failure, but you gotta basically become one with it, and you gotta basically supersede the feelings that you feel when it happens.
Failure and success.
So awesome. By saying that, right, and your upbringing and stuff, do you ever just sit down and ask yourself or reflect back and say, damn, what would have happened if I never really took action and I played it safe versus doing those 6 months of what the God wanted you to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that life is the greatest teacher because all you got to do, I'll give you an example. I know what my life will look like because the people who I gave the opportunity to, some of them I still talk to. So I'll give you an example. And if you're watching this too, it's all love. I love you too.
Don't take offense.
I have a high school friend who I still is my homie. Right. I love him to death. I usually have cut most of the people that I used to have back in the day because energetically, I got to protect my energy. Absolutely. So one of the things, but I love this, like he's always giving me advice. I never cut him off. We catch up every couple months. He called my phone. I always answer, unless I'm busy, but it's like, I always answer. Right. Here's the thing. A decade ago, I had an opportunity to give him. I was like, yo, I got this internet thing. You need to figure this out with me. Yeah. We can be in business together. I mean, I was like, you need to do this with me.
Be careful who you tell your vision to.
No. He was great, but fear riddled him. And it still riddles him today.
Oh, he's still scared.
He's still scared because he works a job that he absolutely hates. You know, he still over doubts himself. He still overthinks everything. Even though I've given him probably 5 programs and coaching opportunities that I've had since over the past couple years. And every time he's taken 2 or 3 of them, every time he comes in the program and he leaves the program right away. Oh, yeah. And every time I talk to him, I would catch up with him. I'm like, what happened? You was on the calls. What happened? Oh man, you know, I call them stories, right? People love their stories. Oh my goodness, people love stories. I call it. So sometimes you story your way out of your success. So you be like, listen, I had work tonight and tomorrow the kids were crying. Listen,
tomorrow.
Like, how's the kids crying tomorrow? Like, they just don't even know what they be saying because it's all stories.
Yeah, he already
that's what they do.
Out of success.
Saturday, got a Saturday. You ain't doing too much. All of the errands that you got to run. So it's like, it goes back to, it's not being judgmental. I just want everybody to understand this.
Yeah. I feel like it's not being judgmental. It's you want more for someone that they don't want for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I think here's what I think. I think genuinely people want it. Yeah. But it requires you going through the darkness to get to the light. That's facing your fears.
Yeah.
That's waking up and doing it when you don't feel like it. That's launching when you don't want to launch. So, you know, it's all of that.
That's not clubbing. That's not like, it's a lot of sacrifices behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You can't go to everybody's party. You can't go here. You have to be locked in. And a lot of people are afraid to be just completely locked in.
Yeah, people, what was that? I read one of my favorite books is The 50th Law by Robert Greene and 50 Cent. I like to give resources, right, when I'm on stuff. So one of my favorite books, I've read that book over 15 times.
Okay.
Really?
You know, yeah. So I'm different. I'm a little different. So I don't read books just one time and leave them. If a book impacts me, I have to keep reading it.
Exactly.
So, and sometimes I'll go back and read parts of it. I'm not saying I read the whole book. I've read the whole book about maybe like 5 or 6 times, but I go back and read sections because I'm like, wait a second. Sometimes you face something, you're like, wait, this was in the book. Let me go back. Most people don't do this.
Right.
So I was listening to this, and one of the things he said is, man's greatest troubles is not knowing how to sit still alone in a room. Right. That's one of the greatest quotes that I've ever read. So, you know, and don't get me wrong, I still have trouble sitting alone in the room, but sometimes you have to force yourself to do it. Sometimes you have to sit still, and that's how you get locked in, because when you get over the anxiety is when the greatness comes, and that's when
I agree.
You can overcome a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And I think
can sit alone.
And the ego is so strong. It's like the stories that we tell it. That's all the ego is, like the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves, and we're just so connected to it.
Absolutely.
Right.
So when you sit alone in the room, you know, by yourself, what's one of the hardest emotional patterns or struggles that you had to break within yourself?
I mean, you know, the inner voices, right? They always come to you when you're alone. You know, it's like, you can't do this. You gonna do this?
Right.
And it tries to remind you of, because the mind is an interesting place. When you really study psychology, you really understand that the mind is always trying to, like, basically,
sabotage.
Like, it's not necessarily just sabotage. It's always trying to make a meaning of things. It's a meaning making machine.
Gotcha.
So what it says is like, oh, I'm sitting here, and if I have this amount in my bank account, it means this.
Right.
But to be honest with you, that's not what it means. It's just that all it means, like, let's say if you got $3,000 in your bank account, right? And let's just say your rent is $2,500. You have a couple choices. Now you could say, oh, well, I got this. It means that I'm not going to be able to make rent next month.
Failure.
My life changed when I said, you know what? I got $3,000 in my bank account, but I can make $20,000 this week.
Clock
you
it.
see the difference? That's different.
Clock it. You change your mind. You shift your mindset.
If I put an offer out
Yeah.
and I go and put this in front of the right people, people are going to buy.
Right.
You know, if I get better at learning how to present myself or learning how to sell stuff, I'm just going to make money. Case in point, right? We're going to talk results.
Yeah.
So everybody right now is scared of, they scared of like the economy, right? They're like, oh my God, the economy, that's a story. People gonna still buy. Now they may buy less of, it means you got to reinvent yourself. That's Case in point, I was at an event. As soon as I landed from, I was in Tokyo recently and I came right here from Tokyo, Japan. And I was asked to speak at a 400 person event. And the way it was set up was a little weird though, because you only got a small workshop. I want all the 400 people. I want all of them. So, I was talking about a new offer where I teach people how to develop like apps and technology, right? So one of the things is we went in a workshop. The workshop could only fit 30 people, about 35 people. They were standing outside trying to listen to the workshop. So I made an offer to work with me. 97% of the people in the room bought. 27 people out of 30 people bought the program to work with me.
Dope.
Now, that's not to brag. That's just to say this. That's just to say that
your stuff works.
It works. It works. But it also is, if you reinvent yourself consistently and you push yourself and you make offers that people love, they're going to buy. Right. If they're not buying, you got to work on this. But your mindset will tell you, a person who doesn't have that mindset will be like, people not buying right now. Right. People don't work. They don't want to buy anything. It's hard. So it's all about the meaning that you tell it. So you gotta, and sometimes I got to tell my brain to shut up. I'll be like, shut up. Shut up. I got stuff to do.
Please leave me alone.
Yeah,
we're about to do this.
All right. So, Justin, you had another life-changing event where you sold everything that you had in Atlanta. All the superficial stuff. Yeah. You left your luxury apartment and booked a one-way flight to Africa. Tell us what made you make that decision, and what kind of mind frame were you in at that time? Like,
so interesting enough, I had just did iWatch not too long before that. So usually that's the
iWatch told you it's time to go.
That was the precursor. Ayahuasca activates things in you spiritually, right? Yeah. So I was starting to wake up in the middle of the night. It was very weird. It was strange. It was like a calling. I was like, what is this? Like, am I tweaking? Like, what's going on? So like something not right. So something not right. But I started feeling this intuition that said, if you like detach from reality to find out who you are. Oh wow. Like, you are so caught up in the mundane, because at that point I had became so uninterested with just the reality of life, like trying to get a car to impress people I don't like, trying to buy designer clothes with people I don't like, buying watches to impress people. And I still love my watches, but like I can't get my watches. But like trying to get away from people, you know what I'm saying? Like we can do these things and we are so trying to impress people. Now, there's nothing wrong with dressing nice and being nice and doing these things,
but do it for yourself.
Do it for yourself, and also do it not out of ego. Right. People do everything out of ego. So one day I just said, you know what? I'm done. I woke up, I called my best friend. I was like, listen, I'm selling everything and I'm leaving. And he was like, what?
You out of your mind? That energy.
He was like, what do you mean? Like, you're not having a midlife crisis, right? Like, I was like,
I love that energy. I want to do it.
I was like, no, I was like, and I said this, and this is interesting. I said, I'm getting to the point in my life where I am tired of ignoring my intuition.
I love that.
I don't want to succumb to fear anymore. I want to follow my intuition. And he was like, do you feel it? I said, yeah, I know what I heard. I know what I feel. I need to sell every single item I own. He's like, everything? I was like, yeah.
Everything.
And his voice said, don't even get a storage unit. Oh. And I was like, hold on now.
Don't put your mindset to say you're coming back.
Right.
Just sell it.
I call it burning the boats, right? Sometimes you got to burn the boats. And so that's what I did. I started giving away all my items. My friends started coming over, taking stuff. I sold my bed. I sold everything. I sold my baby, my test. I miss it so much. I'm sorry. That was she. I called her Sheila, my baby.
That's my mom's name and my aunt's name.
It was Sheila. See, I named so good. So it was like, it was white bucket seats. It was my, like,
white bucket seats. Oh, I like those.
I had white rims, white
goodness.
car. I love my car.
I would have just held it for you.
No. I wouldn't ever saw that car ever again if you held it.
I was going to pick you up from the airport.
No, you wouldn't. I would have never saw that car ever again. So I sold everything and I left with 2 suitcases and a backpack.
Oh, wow.
And I booked a one-way flight to Nairobi, Kenya.
Oh, wow.
And it changed my life.
I love that.
I'm not the same person when I left that I came. And so I tell everybody, if you get a chance, even if you got kids, don't make a story. Just go travel if you can. If you go out, that's what I tell people. I prepared though 2 years prior. Right. I worked my butt off. I had clients. I set up my systems. So remember, I was able to live 2 years because of the prior 2-year decisions that I had made.
Exactly.
Then I started cutting my expenses. I was investing my money into assets. That's what I did for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, even though I had a chance, I could have, did what I saw my friends doing, buying Lamborghini trucks and Rolls Royces. I was like, nah, I'm going to buy a nice Tesla. That's decent.
Smart
That's
guy.
Okay. Right?
It's not the rest of the money. Car.
It's not $100,000 car. Right. But it's luxury to me.
Exactly.
I'm a techie, so I get in and everything electric. I'm fine. Yeah, I don't care about because I done been in some uncomfortable luxury. I'm like, how did you pay $200,000 for this thing?
Seriously.
Like, so for me, it was luxury. I love that. That's all that matters. So when you do that, and that's what I was telling somebody in Bali recently, I'm like, Justin, when you got to go back? When does your money run out? And I was just honest with them. I was like, listen, I don't have to go back for 10 years if I don't have to, if I don't want to, because of the choices that I made.
See what I'm saying?
And the choices I continue to make.
Exactly.
Because I'm about to go to this house and do more work and invest in my business more. So,
awesome.
So I left with 2 suitcases and a backpack. I came back, thankfully, with 2 suitcases and a backpack. Because most people come out with 3-4 cases.
Wow.
So whenever I leave a place, I also had to detach myself from stuff. I would buy shoes and stuff like that. But I also gave away stuff to the locals. And they loved it. So if I bought like some shoes. Like for example, was a guy cleaning my house one day and saw something, Spirit was like, gift him these. Because I was trying to find a way. And I was like, why am I trying to fit this stuff? I've worn this for 3-4. I've gotten the value out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why am I trying to go up here and just because we love stuff? Right. I give it to him, he started crying. He was like, I've never had a pair of Nikes. To me, I'm like, that's normal to me. So we just don't know. And he was crying. He was like, thank you, sir. And I was like, listen,
that's amazing.
This is something that you deserve.
Right.
This is not something that just should become a luxury. And I planted that seed in him.
Right.
So, it was life changing. I love it.
I love that.
I'm going to do it again too.
Yeah. I'm going to go with you next time.
No, you're not going to mess up my peace. After she attacked me as soon as I came out of being a Scorpio. No. You're not. No problem. No. I can tell. I'd be like, I would have to call immigration on you.
Oh my goodness.
And make up an excuse to get you up out of there. Be like, we have somebody. We have somebody here that needs to be deported back to the U.S. Please come.
Right now, because she tripping. So listen, so even at this level of success that you have, at any moment, do you like wrestle with yourself of fear or, like, do you still have any type of fear?
Of course. I mean, fear is normal. Like I say, my relationship with it is different though.
Yes.
I don't fear it to the point of not doing anything or being crippled by it.
I feel that.
Right. But yeah, I just, when I got on stage and spoke to 400 people, I was nervous.
Okay. So you did say you have fear and you face that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you always got to constantly face your fear. That's the biggest thing.
All right. So we have a question that we ask every guest. If you could go back to little Justin on South Side of Chicago, what's one thing that you would tell him?
I would just tell him that whatever the world has told you that you're not, do the complete opposite of that.
I love that. I love that.
And I would always pour into him to tell him who he really is. To reinforce like that you are so much more, to see yourself the way that infinite source sees you.
Ooh.
Right. And that's the fight. The fight is that we are living the opposite of the way that infinite source sees us. Right. So it's like we're getting in these relationships, but really what we want is love, right? These are just principles, abundance. Right. But now we're faced with lack. Right. So it's just to impart those into him and let him know that he deserves it all.
Amazing.
He deserves it all.
He does.
In 5 years.
You do, Justin. Little Justin.
I said in 5 years, now your wife, your compound, your little Justin's running around here.
I want it all. I ain't gonna be making the vegetables, but I will contribute.
She gonna be all right. Word. As long as you contribute.
Yeah, and that's the great part about living out the country. Like there's so many resources and help that you can get, and it's like I say, it take a village, right? You need to really follow that. We're gonna build villages.
I'm coming to your village.
Yeah, no, you're not. No, you can't come.
She keeps trying by herself.
I'm like, why you keep inviting yourself? Why you keep inviting yourself to my village?
I'm coming. Okay. And I'm not disturbing your peace.
Okay, I believe you.
You do?
No, not really. No.
But listen, for the people who's listening and watching, how can they find you? How can they invest in your courses? And also you can help them start their own courses.
Yeah, so right now people can follow me Instagram CEO Justin Burns. Our company, our technology company, we got a studio. I mean, we have a couple softwares that we have, like Maestro, Maestro.com. We got Studio Book. People can write their books with AI. So we have a bunch of AI software. But the main thing is just follow me on Instagram, CEO Justin Burns. And send me a DM. And then at Facebook.com/Justin Burns. But the Gen Z people, they don't use Faye on Instagram or TikTok. So
Facebook is for my mama there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, definitely thank you for dropping the gems. Thank you for letting us get more in tune with Justin, little Justin, middle Justin, Boss Justin, CEO Justin, Peaceful Justin.
All of them. Multiple personalities.
Scorpio Justin.
Yeah.
Yes.
But definitely thank you for coming on Out the Mud podcast. This is your girl, Coco.
Haliate.
Peace.
Out the mud came up, they ain't think that I could do it. Rise up, then I look back like, man, I knew it. Out the mud, was in the dirt, climbed up. Now I'm on top and it's stuck. Out the mud.